Now, you might have heard me hit the record button. It's just so I can post these on YouTube and friends can watch something later in the week. It's completely anonymous to anyone in the class. I just do it as a service. So please begin to feel whatever your feels are right now. Feel whatever emotional tone is moving through your being. No resistance, no trying to change it or repress it or explain it, just allowing it. It's the ocean allowing the waves to do their thing. Breathe what you feel and feel what you breathe. Good, then we'll say the great prayer of acceptance. I accept exactly who I am, where I am, the quality of my experience right here, right now, exactly the way that it is. If you can't say that prayer, that's okay, just notice. But if you can, the prayer of acceptance, a trust and faith that we're right on schedule, and so is everyone else, contrary to all appearances. Good, now take the biggest, deepest inhale that you can, fill up the whole vessel. Inhale, 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 inhale. Exhale, let it all go, pull the plug, let out all those feelings, all those impressions, all those sensations. And let's be calm and empty souls for a few moments. It's good to empty out. Some you time. Okay, now one of the most fun things you've ever done, wiggle your fingers and toes and circulate love, peace, bliss, joy, ecstasy, abundance, compassion, truth, beauty, intelligence, wisdom, kindness, understanding through yourself. So fill yourself up with the best of being. Then take your arms up to the ceiling and stretch your arms up over your head and extend your toes forward and just a little first thing in the morning writhing, a gentle version of it. I call it early morning euphoria stretch. Euphoria, me-phoria, we-phoria. Goofy grin on your face because we're not taking any of this seriously today. Good, and then draw your knees in and just kind of roll around on your back a little bit with your knees gently hugged in. There's nothing extreme today. That's Monday and Saturday practice. So middle of the road, roll around on your back. Good, and then consider rolling the other way. That's how you roll. All right, and then we will sit up together and we'll continue doing nothing immediately. What do you think? I think it's a great idea, but the main thing we want to think in this class is that we don't need to think. Some of us have a thinking problem. All right, we should go to a 28-day program and stop thinking. Anyway, I'm Greg. It's great to see my friends. Happy Sunday. Now, in a class like this, it seems like there should be an evolution or a progression, right? It's like we should continuously stair step up toward higher and higher states of relaxation, bliss, joy, ecstasy. But why not just start there? Why not just start already being calm and peaceful and then see where it goes from there? So just close your eyes if you would. I think I know all of you, but if you happen to be watching on YouTube or you're a first time watcher, my name is blah, 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 and I teach blah, 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 and I have a certificate from the University of blah, 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 and none of that matters. Just breathe with your eyes closed, please. If you took all the spiritual books, all 90 million of them ever written, and you put them into a big wood chipper, and then you burnt them all up into ash and then dissolved it and distilled it down to 3 drops, those 3 drops would say, be here now. The simplest advice ever, and probably the hardest. Do you have a mind that wanders forward into the future and tries to figure everything out and avoid catastrophe? Do you have a mind that wanders into the past with regret and remorse and, if only, or some sort of sentiment about the past, then you're a human being, and we spend most of the time in the future or in the past, and the present is lost. But when the movement of the mind slows down, the present swells in experience. It fills us up. It fills the aching hole of anxiety or insufficiency or not enoughness that is so common in the human condition. Just breathe. I promise we'll probably do something. Good. So let's do a quick inventory of our lives. Are you safe right now? Do you have a roof over your head? Do you have a refrigerator? Do you have indoor plumbing? Do you have enough money to pay for a new tire if you need it? Do you have loving family members? Well, you're just knocking it out of the park. Okay, we're only going to do this for about 52 more minutes. I'm just kidding. I want you to come back. Okay. So if you're new watching this, we do some joint juice. Joint juice is the name that I've given to taking my bodily lever systems around. So note my shoulders going around in a swirl. Now, why do we do joint juice? Because tension, anxiety, fear, worry accumulates in our joints, and then we get itises like, you know, bursitis, arthritis, and if we do some joint juice a few times a week, that energy breaks up and then it becomes available for fun. Other way with your shoulders. 1, 2. And by the way, it's no particular movement. It's It's not like, hey, we're going to get to the one sine qua non, the one linchpin thing that changes everything. It's a synchronicity. 7, 8, and your arms go up if they do. If they don't, then bring them up as high as you can. Now I'm praying up high, up by the top of my cat tree, and I'm gonna. In the 70s, we bought little pyramids made out of aluminum foil, and we put them on top of our heads, and it arced cosmic energy into our head, and we thought that that worked, which was hilarious. So aim some energy down into your head, and after about 10 minutes of this, your arms will go numb, and then they'll just break off. Good, and then arms out mercifully. I'm a big fan of mercy. Up your back. Mercy and grace, the blessing that's given, that's not commensurate with our effort. Mercy and grace. Up your back. Amazing grace. Then you say, poof. And you notice by moving slowly and rhythmically with other humans that are doing the same thing, that in and of itself is a healing, restorative practice. And you don't have to figure it out. Figuring it out is the booby prize. Up your back, being in bliss and joy and peace is the prize. And you already have it. Poof. One more. You know how I know you already have your bliss and joy? Because I have poof. Good. Now, chanting is a big part of my life and my classes, and for me, learning how to use my voice and say what's true and say yes when I mean yes and say no when I mean no. I had to open up a lot of my throat chakra because if you grew up in my family, your throat was strangled a lot and you learned how to say anything but the truth. So let's chant Om together. Big inhale. Good. Now I cordially invite you to bring pause to your heart. You don't have to call it prayer if that doesn't work for you. You could call it Anjali Mudra and be a yogi. Close your eyes, drop your chin, and I invite you to say a blessing of yourself. Bless yourself. Language is optional. The simplest, most heartfelt language is usually the best. God gets bored listening to soliloquies. Good, then lace these self-same hands, and while we're pushing our hands up, we'll push our hips down. That sounds odd, doesn't it? How do you push your hips down? Well, you think about it. It's like I normally don't think about pushing my hips anywhere, but now I'm thinking about exerting my hips into the floor, which makes me talk a little lower for some reason. And then my arms extend up. And then when I close my eyes, not only does it get darker, I can feel myself as a cosmic conduit. Part of me extends up, part of me extends down, and life runs through me. Good. Now we're going to do a very technical thing called waddling. And here's how you do it. You ready? Exactly. You just kind of go like this. And then it starts to feel kind of groovy. And we'll go through the decades together. It's the 60s. you're in Golden Gate Park, you just had some kind of mushroom. It's the 70s. It's the if it feels good, do it 70s, and you're still suffering the consequences of that. And now it's the big hair 80s where everybody made millions of dollars and ended up in rehab. Good. Now it's the 90s and it's grunge rock and it's time to get real. And blah, blah, blah. What a long, strange trip it's been. Good. Relax your arms down. Ooh, my arms are tired now. I'm going to switch the cross of my legs, otherwise they'll be cross. I'm going to pull back on my buns a little. Now, I hope you guys have yoga blocks. If you don't, you could get Prime delivery and get afternoon delivery of brand new yoga blocks. Not in time for this class, but in time for next week's class. Now, I'm flexible enough, being a professional yoga instructor, that I can put that there and rest my head on it. Now, maybe you're stiff as a boiled owl and you're doing yoga for the first time, and boy, are you lucky that you found the best yoga teacher in the whole world, filled with humility. Maybe your block needs to be that big. But can you build an edifice to yourself for your headifice that enables you to rest your head and your buns simultaneous, like? And then if you get the right balance between your head and your hiney, which is there's a deeper meaning to that, getting the motives of our head and our primal parts to come into balance, then you'll go weightless. You'll go weightless. You'll escape time. And that's a good thing. Every time we escape time, we cease aging. We are renewed and refreshed. You don't have to try to pull good into your life. Imagine you were a spiritual sunbather and you were laying in the sun. You don't have to reach up and grab sunbeams and rub them all over your body. You don't have to try to pull the sun toward you. You don't have to try to get other people's sunbeams. You just lay there. Now I'm going to roll my forehead out just to get some of those wrinkles that have embedded themselves in my forehead from fretting and worrying too much. I don't do that anymore, but sometimes I don't do it any less either. Just rolling out my forehead. Ah, good. Then they came up together, which they kind of liked. And many of them thought, who were watching this class, this is the best yoga. This is my favorite kind. Who knew? Some of you aren't thinking that. Now I'm going to pull back on my hi, how you doings. That's what I've named mine. You can name yours whatever you want. Now I'm feeling like I could probably go with that size. And by size, I mean SIGHS. Find the right size for you. And then kerplunk. And find a nice balance between head and hips. I prefer a 51-50 ratio. Sometimes our hips are driving the bus. Sometimes the head is driving the bus. Sometimes they're going in opposite directions. Leads to a crash. So align head and hips. Stop thinking. Okay, gonna I'm gonna roly-poly my forehead out. Plus, if you do this enough, it opens up your third eye through the principle of erosion. When your third eye opens up, you can see everything. Okay, friends, and come on up after that. Oh, glory, hallelujah. All right, let's chant Om again. What do you think? By the way, if you're new to this and you hear me just chant Om for a long time, it's I've learned a lot that by extending the Om, it changes our physiology and makes us more calm and confident souls. So just extend your Om out a little longer, a little longer. Inhale. Please keep your eyes closed. Feel that vibration spread from your head down to your toes, as if a warm elixir of bliss was poured in a funnel at the top of your head. Kind of like the first time you had a beer, but without external molecules now. We can get high on our own supply, trust me. Okay, now lace your hands, and we're going to, this is weird if you haven't done it, and it's weird if you have done it. I'm brushing my thumbs down my sternocleidomastoids. Those are the big, thick side muscles that define the width of your neck. And to me, it feels soothing, calming. 7, 8. Good. Then take your thumbs and just circle them around. Be grateful that we have thumbs, assuming, of course, that you do. And then dig your thumbs in the corner of your jaw right here. Now, watch me relax my face down into my hands. And then massage your thumbs provocatively underneath your jawbone. See if you can loosen up that tight tissue underneath the corner of your jawbone. When that's tight, then we're tight. When that's relaxed and open and free, well, you get it. Now, hold steady pressure there. Push in there with patient, prudent, persistent, pleasurable pressure. Please. It's the day of peace. We're going to appease ourselves. All right. And what's a yoga class without doing some neck rolls? One. Now, even neck rolls can be done improperly. So relax your shoulders and then relax your shoulders. And actually consider actually relaxing your shoulders. 4, 5. When he says relax your shoulders, does he mean relax your shoulders? Yes. 6. Other way. 1, 2. There's something very calming about just counting to 6. 3, 4, and 5, typically followed by 6. Now, when you let your head relax down, you'd think it would just be called relaxing your head down, but yogis call it Jalandhara Bandha. Bandha means a lock or a constriction at your throat. So if you tilt your face down, you create a lock at the throat, not so much that you can't breathe, but so that you create a slight pressure or constriction at your throat. And then if you drag your breath along the back of your throat, it makes a sound inside of your head called ujjayi breathing. And ujjayi breathing sounds like the sound of the ocean outside the window of your $3,000 a night cottage in the Maldives, and you like it. Now, let's say to ourselves inside of our inner sanctuary, let's say to ourselves, I am a calm and peaceful soul. A great, great yoga woman, meditation teacher from India who wrote 30 books on meditation. Prabha was her name. She's transitioned, but I studied with her a lot, and one of her favorite affirmations is, "We are calm and peaceful souls." And I probably heard her say that 10,000 times. So I picked it up in my nervous system, and I've said it about at least 5 million times. Am I a calm and peaceful soul? More often, yes. We are what we say we are. So by all means, say, okay, my legs are getting crabby for sitting this long, so I'm going to extend them out. See how easy this class is? All you do is just get in the boat, lift up the oars, and let the river take you downstream. We don't have to paddle upstream. When you paddle upstream, you get paddled. This is called Dandasana, staff. Dogs have owners. Cats have staff. Now, in my humble opinion, in my not humble opinion, yoga poses are bodily prayers. So you wouldn't look at me and say, hey, that guy's praying. But little would you realize that I'm shaping my body to receive love, light, wisdom, truth, beauty, because it's available if I can just tap into it. I've spent a lot of my life tapping into other things, kegs, wine barrels, but not anymore. Good, now pause down, feet in, bottoms up, kitty cats, up you go. Oh, and now you're thinking we have to exert in this class? I don't want to exert. Sure you do. And come on down. Now, one of the reasons we do that is it opens up the part for our hands and our feet. So, if you have crabby, tight, constricted, hypertonic hands and feet, you can't be a calm and peaceful. You can't walk around with lobster claws and be a calm and peaceful soul. So take your lobster claws and thumbs to the outside, lean into your hands, close your eyes. We're not going anywhere. Remember, all the spiritual books ever written distilled down to 3 words: be here now. Distilled down to 1 word: be. Now I'm doing a little side to side because it's a personal proclivity of mine. I just like loosening up my lobster claws a little by oscillating. Good. Now I'm going to lean into both of them simultaneous. I'm going to drop my chin. I'm creating Jalandhara Bandha. There'll be a test at the end. I'm going to make ujjayi breathing, soft, whispery seashell aspirant sound at the back of my throat. And I'm going to be spectacularly happy for no reason. A great goal of life could be to find the bliss of being that's not contingent upon circumstances. Oh, I can be happy just as long as everything and everybody does whatever I want. Okay, that's okay. How about if you could be deliriously blissful just in the process of being itself? All right, that is sufficient. Now we roll out lobster claws. Mmm, lobster claws. I've never eaten a lobster, nor do I want to eat a large sea bug like that. Plus, I'm fasting today, so no lobster claws. Other way with your hands. I'm trying to think of the first human that ever ate a lobster and how hungry they had to be to consider doing that. Let's eat that big sea insect. Shake your hands out. It's got an exoskeleton that you have to break with a hammer. Yeah, why not just eat some berries? Shake your hands out. Flippy flops. This is how I say hello to my exceedingly bright future. Now, I'm a huge proponent that my latter years are going to be better than my former years, and my former years have been pretty damn good, but I think the best is always yet to be because we're eternal spiritual beings and we're never done. Faster, faster, alabaster. Good, and cup your hands at your heart and cultivate a sense with your eyes closed and your chin dropped that you are just scratching the surface of infinite wisdom, bliss, experience. You'll be somewhere in 5 days, 5 years, 50 years, 50 million years. If you're here now, what would ever lead you to believe that you won't always be here now? You have no evidence that ever says that you're not here now. Except a mind that projects delusion. I have one of those for sure. All right, inhale up, kitty cats. Grab your elbows and we'll work them side to side. We're just grooving and moving with our body and our tribe. Good, now I'm going to bring my left elbow more behind my head and just I'm going to rip my arm off behind my head. I'm going to lean into my left side bra strap. And now I'm stretching an area that's very tight on most people and is kind of tight on me, but every day I try to go through my bodily system and keep it going. By the way, I'm 116 years old and I look damn good. Now, right elbow behind my head. And I'm gonna stretch that. I'm not being extreme. I love being extreme, but not today. I love exaggerating for effect. So much so, I'm going to Exaggerators Anonymous meetings. I'm going to go to 1,000 meetings in 90 days. Good, now bring your arms up. Oh, did I need that? Good, all right. Now, Now for something completely different. We're going to lay on our back for a while. I like having a career where I can invite everybody at my business to lay on their back. I think that's pretty cool. I'm going to roll up a little banky for underneath my head, my little yoga banky. Now, in a moment, we won't be able to see each other unless you have a big screen TV on your living room ceiling. And if you do, could I come over and see it on your back? And then just put a little blanket underneath my neck, and I'm going to reverse the course of history. No, I'm going to reverse the course of circulation. And for 1 minute, if you can do it, can you lay on your back and extend your legs up for 1 minute without losing your stuff? If you can't, boy, are you in the right place. If you can, boy, are you in the right place. Now you're going to be tempted to fidget and wiggle and spread your legs and cross them and do a bunch of stuff, but no, just legs up. Then you'll get bored, then you'll get crabby, then you'll start thinking about the future, then you'll start thinking about your IRA, and then you'll be thinking about your spouse or the fact that you don't have a spouse, and then all these thoughts are going to go by and you're just going to let them go by. Don't grab them. Not very much longer, but it's always right now, so it doesn't really make any difference. Life is 100 trillion consecutive moments of now. Trademark registered. Okay, are you still alive? Now bend your knees, widen them out, lift your head high. Grab your big toes, they're right there. And happy baby pose. Now, maybe you're not happy in happy baby pose. Maybe you're crabby baby. But if it's too strong, you just grab your knees here and you just kind of hold on and keep coming to my class for the rest of your life religiously, and you'll loosen up a little bit. I'll get you loose, okay? And if you can do big toe grabbing and 1 minute of crabby baby, then we'll do this. Now, if your butt doesn't lift and your knees are on the floor, you probably used to be in the circus or something, and that's okay. I've known a lot of circus performers. They're some of the most screwed up people I've ever met, but they're sure are fun to hang out with. Breathe from lower down in your lower down parts. We're not going anywhere. We're not accomplishing anything except calming the movement of our minds. See how this pose kind of sinks in through the layers of your body, doesn't it? It starts at the outside and keeps going deeper and deeper until you've reached your innermost body called Anandamaya Kosha, bliss body, body of bliss. We all have one. So this is yin yoga. It takes time. 10 more seconds. Ten more seconds. Oh, thank God. Let go of your feet, and like a buoy, they just float to the surface. Take your legs out semi wide and stir your ankles. 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, pretty much 2, Avogadro's number, and 1. Good. Now squeeze your legs back together and roll up. And they're back. Good job. Okay, let's chant an Om together to deepen the groove of bliss inside of us together. That was the Department of Redundancy Department. Big inhale. Feel that. I have a fun little story to tell you about Om, that primordial sound of the universe. Last night, something irritated me, some random insignificant thing that I got mad or angry, or somebody made me sore, usual stuff. And after it, I was driving in my car and I was like, grind, 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 thinking bad thoughts. And then I pulled up to a red light, and the car in front of me, the license plate was AUM, which is the spelling of Om. AUM 123 was the license plate. And I was like, palm slap, Om. It's as easy as 123. What a coincidence that was. It's weird. It's almost like there's a God or something. Okie doke, you ready to keep going into more and more bliss? Extend your right leg out, please. Cross your left leg over the top. Now, when it comes to folding your right shin under, you don't have to necessarily. You could just leave your leg out, and that might be a more comfortable way to sit. Now, the feet, this is where the elite meet to love and to de-stress their feet. Crack your toes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good. Now, here's things that adults don't do a lot of. Play with your toes. Little kids do it. Toes are fascinating. Plus, you can get your toes in your mouth when you're a little kid, and they taste wonderful. And just get any gunk out from in between your toes. Spring cleaning. Maybe there's a spider web or a dirt clod in there. Good. Now, splay your toes open really wide. Now, here are the 4 jet planes, your 4 right fingers, and the 4 jet planes go into the hanger. Now, if you can't get your fingers in there, there's still some hope for you. Not very much, but there's some. Oh, hi. Hi. Why do you have to come when I don't have any hands? Time out. When life gives you rosebuds, you celebrate. So this is Looney Bins. He's my new kitty, and I like wearing a cat hat sometimes. And when he's on the screen, viewership tends to go up by millions. So make sure that you share this class with your friends and tell them there's this crazy guy on the internet that does yoga, and he wears a cat hat. It's so totes adorbs. It just makes me want to scream. Okay, nice seeing you. Where were we? The jet planes were in the hangar. Good. Now, take your left lobster claw and crank a doodle your ankle. Hey. 5, 6. Other way. We've only had tuna and sardines and insects for breakfast so far, so he's okay. 4, 5, 6. All right, now, did you know that you had a left and right hemisphere of your brain? You probably know that. Maybe you're a neuroanatomist. There's a serial cable that connects left and right brain. Rational brain, intuitive brain, logical brain, holistic brain, male brain, female brain, whatever you want to call it, yin yang. And we want to connect those two faculties of our being. We're going to do that next week. Just kidding. Squeeze your left toes into your right fingers really hard. Splay your right toes open really wide. Squeeze, splay. Take your left hand to your heart, the sound of one hand praying. Close your eyes. Squeeze and splay with the distal ends of your body, your toes, and be the center of the merry-go-round. Squeeze, splay, and squeeze, splay, and pray. What do you say? Good, really good. Now, the contraindication of this pose is you may not be able to get your fingers out from your toes. I hope you can dial 911 with your fingers. Get your hand out. Get your hand out. Greg's got a hand out for you. Greg has his hands out for you. Big hugs. Now we're going to loosen up our tight shoulders, right arm under. Hug yourself. Fold up your arms if they do this. And go up and down with your elbows. All you have to do is get together with me 1 hour a week, 1/168th of your life. You and me spend together cultivating a calm and peaceful mind, body, and soul. And then the other 167 hours will increase in love, joy, and bliss. I don't promise much. Good. Now, take your elbows all the way to the right. Turn your face all the way to the left. Drop your chin and wear your calm and peaceful expression. Just the unbearable lightness of being, the ecstasy of existence itself, standing on the back of a whale, fishing for minnows. Okay, friendly friends, and we'll bring it back to the center. We'll release out. This is all a moving meditation, of course. Loosen up your arms. Spread your angel wings out. Now we're going to stimulate our chakras, red chakra, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet. Explosions of infinite ecstasy. I do exaggerate a little, I admit. Now, we're going to do some reflexology acupressure. We're going to take our thumbs into the middle center bottom of our feet. And I want you to massage into Tala Hridaya, the yogic name for the heart center on the bottom of your foot, middle center, bottom. This associates hearts and lungs. So you dig in there. And by doing this, we clear up resentments, anger, bitterness, betrayal. Have you ever been betrayed? It's sort of the human condition to be betrayed. It's like a rite of passage, and we all get betrayed. And then the question is, do we forgive it or not? Hold steady pressure with your thumbs. Now I invite you to issue blanket amnesty to everyone that you've ever known in your life. And you don't have to. It's just for your consideration. Resentment is the poison we drink in our effort to injure others. I hate that saying. Some people deserve my resentment. Just kidding. All right, good. Now take your thumbs out, and stretch your legs out. Kids, we're in the Om stretch. We have one more side to go, and then we'll do a long restorative pose together. I think you'll like it. Now, counter pose, champagne bottoms, caviar rears. Good. Come on down. Come on down. Left leg out. Grab righty. Bring it over. Lefty doesn't have to come in unless you want to. You're in the privacy of your own living room. Now, let's crack our toes. 1, no crack there. 2, I've got no crack today. 3, 4, 5. Now, goof around with your toes. This cures toe dependence. I still have bandages on my toes. Gross, this is gross, don't watch. Bandages on my toes from golfing yesterday. I'm such a guy. Good, and now stretch your toes open. Get any gunk out. Now splay them open in advance. If you need to, get some avocado spray and spray it on your fingers. That feels and tastes really good. Dig your fingers into your toes from the bottom. If you can't get them in, you will in a while. Now again, we want to balance the hemispheres of our brain, don't we? So that's called your corpus callosum. And this is special yoga invented by yours truly that balances the yin and yang of your being. Now, you may not believe that, and I frankly don't care, but I want you to experience it, not believe it. I'm not that much into belief, I'm into experience. Now, squeeze your right toes into your left fingers, splay your left toes open, hecka wide. The sound of one hand praying with your right hand at your heart, drop your chin, and no matter how fast your outside world is spinning, the merry-go-round, the calliope, the horses, the bouncing up and down, the relatives, the money, the work, the health, that merry-go-round, withdraw to the center. You have an inner sanctum that's available to you in any moment where you can go and fully and completely remove yourself from the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune. But if you don't find that place, it's not available. Good, beautiful. Now extract stuck fingers. Inhale. Arms out. Now this is my sequence for removing trauma and dysfunction and PTSD. Left arm under. Hug yourself. So this proves you love yourself right here. Oh, baby. Fold up your arms and then ups and downs with your elbows to grind out that stuff that happened in junior high school that seems to be indelibly stamped. By the way, all the kids that were popular in high school, they're probably dead now. So everybody gets their just dessert. Just kidding. That's why I work on getting rid of resentments. Now, elbows all the way to the left, face all the way to the right. Drop your chin. Let's say it together. We are calm and peaceful souls. See how the movement of your mind has slowed down over 60 minutes? It's because peace is a practice. Good, and bring it back to the center. Relax your arms. One more glorious bit of reflexology acupressure. Now our thumbnails are going to go at the base of our big toe, right there. I should probably get a tattoo there. I should probably get a tattoo in general. Chat me online and send me a comment where you think I should get a tattoo. That'll stimulate some views. Now dig your thumbnails in there. And this is the psychic bodily point of vision. So this allows you to see more clearly and avoid the potholes that you've stepped in before, or as your optometrist might say, 5 or 6, 6 or 7. Good, now hold steady pressure, close your eyes, and be unusually happy for no reason. Cat, why do you always come when my hands are being occupied? Okay, beauties, we're going to chant Om one more time, and then we're going to do a 3-hour restorative class, or a 5-minute restorative class. Inhale, or pose. Inhale. Chin drops, eyes closed, prayer hands. Let's say a prayer of thanks for all the prayers that have been answered and all the ones that are lined up to be answered. In other words, grateful, full of greatness. Okay, now, of course, for finishing Shavasana, you could just lay raw on your back. You could just lay on your back. I am fortunate to have what I call slidey recliner chair, as big as this chair is. This looks like Pee Wee Herman's Playhouse, and the chair is going to eat me. Hope not. Didn't you love Pee Wee Herman? Where did that guy go? Hope he's doing well. Now, you can do this with an ottoman. You could do this with bolsters, blankets. You could do this with your mate if you have a playful mate. And now we're going to begin doing absolutely nothing for 7 minutes. I'm going to put duct tape over my mouth so that you don't have to listen to me. And I want you to dissolve into intergalactic, cosmic, rainbow ecstasy. Okay? Go. I will say swallow once, relax your jaw, let your mouth open a little bit, soften your teeth, and your eyes roll back like billiard balls going into the side pocket. Okay, my beautiful friends, stay relaxed, relax more. I invite you to relax even more. And here's that thing we do every Sunday from the Church of Greg, as churchy as I get. And if you'd like to invite God, love, source, spirit, infinite higher organizing principle, IHOP for short, into yourself, now's a really good time to open the heart and mind and issue that sincere invitation, never coerced, never convinced. Good. If you prayed that prayer with me, I invite you to wiggle your fingers and toes and circulate extra super feel God through yourself. We are God's nerve endings. Did you know that? Did you know you are so important that you're an individualized nerve ending of God? Good. Nice deep breath back in your spacesuit. And when you're ready, curl onto your right side. Knit one, curl two. Love all over yourself as you're seated, curled up. Good. Then the ritual conclusion continues by, with your eyes closed, sitting up together. We rearrange ourselves seated. Doesn't matter where you land, because wherever you do land is axis mundi, the center of the universe. We're all centers in an infinite network. Good. And with our spines nice and tall but relaxed, hands will come into our heart. We'll bow our chin in reverence, holy and sacred, and cultivating that calm, delicious connection that we all share. All together we say, Namaste, Namasunday. I truly hope you had as good a time as I did, and I'm always honored to be in your presence.